Arithmetic progression are series of numbers with common difference. You will know that a series of numbers are in arithmetic progression if you subtract them backwards. For example, these numbers, -1, 3, 7, 11, 15, 19, if you will subtract them backwards, 19 minus 15 is 4, 15 minus 11 is 4, 11 minus 7 is 4, 7 minus 3 is 4, and 3 minus 1 is 4. So these numbers are in arithmetic progression whose common difference is 4. Now, for a descending series of numbers, for example, 100, 90, 80, 70, and so on and so forth, if you subtract them backwards, 70 minus 80, that is minus 10, 80 minus 90, that is minus 10, 90 minus 100, that is minus 10. So, these numbers are in arithmetic progression whose common difference D is minus 10. Now, solving for the n term of an arithmetic progression, if we call the first term as A1, you just add D to the next term and you will be getting the following term. So, A1 plus D is A2, A2 plus D, or A1 plus D, A1 plus 2D is A3, plus D again, A1 plus 3D, that would be A4, plus D again, 3D plus D, that is 4D. So, A1 plus 4D is A5. So, makikita natin yung sequence, there is always an A1, there is always a D. And the subscript of the n term is 1 lower than the coefficient of D. For example, 2, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3. So if this is n, this would be n minus 1 times D. So the n term is A1 plus n minus 1 times D. Now, as you can see by noticing or by observing the sequence of letters n1, n minus 1. So, n corresponds to n, 1 corresponds to 1. So, therefore, if you do not know A1, for example, you know A3, so that is n and 3, so we can predict that the formula will be A3 plus n minus 3 times D. So, it need not really be A1. Now, for the sum of n terms of an arithmetic progression, we go by the definition of sum of n terms. For the sum of n terms, it's, sabi natin, di ba, average is sum over n. So, sum is n times average. So, Sn is n times A average, A1 plus An, the first plus the last over 2. We can derive another formula if we will substitute the formula for An in this formula for Sn. So, Sn is also n over 2 times the quantity A1 plus An, but An is A1 plus n minus 1 times D. So that gives us Sn is n over 2, A1 plus A1, that is 2A1 plus n minus 1 times D. Okay. Let us have this question. How many terms in the series 3, 5, 7, 9 must be taken so that the sum is 2,600? How many terms in the series 3, 5, 7, 9 must be taken so that the sum is 2,600? How many terms? Anong hinahanap? The number of terms. N. 3579 is geometric, arithmetic. Arithmetic. 9 minus 7, 2. 7 minus 5, 2. 5 minus 3, 2. These are in arithmetic progression with common difference of 2. Now, this is your first term, A1. That is 3. Meron tayong sum of n terms, we need n. Sabi natin, our sum of n terms is n times A average. A1 plus AN over 2. To solve our n, we need Sn. We have this. We need A1. We have this. But we don't have AN. Let us use the other formula. Our Sn is n over 2 times A1 plus AN. But what is our AN? It's A1 plus N minus 1 times D. You don't need to really memorize yung derived formula. I-substitute mo lang yung formula ng AN to this. You have this. Now, to solve our N here, we need Sn. We have that. 2, 6. We have A1, 3. We have D, 2. Kaya nating masolve yung N? Yes. So, substituting the values, you have 2,600 is equal to N over 2 times A1 plus A1, 2 A1. A1 is 3 plus N minus 1 times D, which is 2. So, this is one equation in terms of N. I-substitute nyo lang yung mga values sa choices, you'll get your N. Naintindihan? So, kung sino dun sa apat na choices ang mag-satisfy, yun yung sagot. So, anyway, our N here, if you calculate, is going to be 50. In this question, A2 is 5, A5 is 11, what is A19? If we will solve this the conventional way, our AN is A1 plus N minus 1 D. We do not have A1, we have A2 and A5. Let me use here A sa Q. This would be N minus Q. So, we know A5 and A2. If this is A5, this is A2, this would be 5 minus 2. 5 minus 2, 3 times D. Knowing this and this, it will give you your D. So, therefore, we have here A5 is 11, A2 is 5, plus 3D. Solving our D, 11 minus 5, 6 over 3, D is 2. We can now go to A19. Your A19, therefore, equals A2 plus, if this is 19 and 2, this is 19 minus 2 times D. So, our A19 is A2, which is 5 plus 17 times D. Our D is 2. So, 34 plus 5, A19 is 39. Kuha? Another solution is using the regression function of your calculator. Just press in your calculator mode stat. Your calculator will ask you to choose an equation. So, for arithmetic progression, ang gagamitin dyan is yung y is a plus bx. ito yung equation of a linear function. You get it? So, pag-press mo ng corresponding key para sa a plus bx, lalabas yung matrix, no? Matrix of x and your y. Yung x mo, ito yung gagamitin mong subscript. Yung y mo will represent the a term with a subscript. So, ang ibig sabihin, when x equals 2, yung y sub 2 or a sub 2 is 5. When x is 5, yung y sub 5 or a5 is 11. So, ang gagawin mo lang dito, press 2 equals, 5 equals, bababa yung cursor dito, ibalik mo lang siya dun sa tapat ng 2, then 5 equals, 11 equals. Once na input mo na yung ordered pair, ang next step mo is press AC. So, yung AC natin is makli-clear yung screen mo, pero yung data nakapasok na sa loob. Ang kailangan natin is A19, right? So, pagka itong X mo is 19, ano yung Y? Yun yung pinakatanong, di ba? So, i-press mo lang sa calculator mo yung 19, pero huwag kang mag-press ng equals. Para ma-solve mo yung unknown Y, just press Shift 1 regression. Choose the key for regression. Then, papipiliin ka what is missing. Pag ang prines mo dyan yung number corresponding to Y, then this would be understood to be X. Pag ang prines mo dyan sa kinayan, the number corresponding to X, understood that this would be Y. Maliwanag? So, ang piliin natin since ang nawawala is Y for an X of 19, choose the key for Y. Or some calculator will show this as correct Y. So, then press equals. So, yung sagot dito, makikita mo to, 39. This number is your A19. It would be exactly the same as this. Paliwanag? Okay. Geometric progression, on the other hand, are sequence or series of numbers with common ratio R. So to determine whether a series of numbers are in geometric progression, all you need to do is divide them backwards. For example, 1, 3, 9, 27, 81, you divide them backwards, 81 over 27, that is 3. 27 over 9, that is 3. 9 over 3, that is 3. 3 over 1, that is 3. So they have a common ratio that is 3. So these are in geometric progression whose common ratio is 3. Now the number 64 minus 16, 4 minus 1, are also in geometric progression because when you divide them backwards, minus 1 over 4, that is minus 1/4. 4 over 16 is minus 1/4. Minus 16 over 64 is minus 1/4. So they are in geometric progression whose common ratio is minus 1/4. For the end term of a geometric progression, let us call the first term to be A1. And you multiply A1 by R. A1 times R, that is A2. You multiply again by R, that would be A1R times R, A1R squared, that would be A3. Then you multiply A1R squared by R again, that is A1R cubed, that would be A4. As you can see, if this is A2, it's A1R to the 1. A3, that is A1R to the 2. Pag A4, A1R to the 3. So pag 2, exponent ng R1, pagka 3, exponent ng R2, pagka 4, exponent ng R3. Lagi lang mas mababa ng 1 yung exponent ng R. So we can now derive yung formula ng AN. There is always A1 in the formula, there is always R. Nagkakaiba lang sa exponent ng R. So yung exponent ng R mas mababa ng isa sa subscript ng A. So it would be A1, R. Pag ito N, the exponent ng R is N minus 1. So notice also the pattern N1, kaya pagka ito ay A1, N minus 1. So kapag ka naman ito ay A3, AN is equal to A3, what will be the exponent of R? Correct. N minus 3. That would be the pattern. Now, for the sum of n terms of a geometric progression, hindi ko na i-derive, ha? So, the sum of n terms is going to be A1, para yung, pansinin nyo yung exponent. Parang, ikumpleto nyo lang, parang Iran, di ba? Tama? Iran. Yung baba, parang lagyan mo lang ng Q, parang Iraq. So, this formula reminded me, nung grade school ako, yung pinakamahabang giyera sa Middle East, yung Iran versus Iraq. Sa giyera na yan, tinalo ng Iran ang Iraq. Bakit? Kasi sinuplayan ng armas ng Amerika yung Iran. So, Iran over Iraq, involved yung Amerika. Kaya nagalit si Saddam sa Amerika. Get it? Now, kapag ka naman yung terms na pagsasama-samahin ay infinite, we have the sum of infinite geometric progression. Isa lang ang pag-asa natin na masolve yan. Now, sabi natin, sum of n terms is equal to Iran over Iraq, involved ang Amerika. Paano kung yung n natin is infinity? Pwede ba nating makuha yung sum nila? Pwede. If the absolute value of R is less than 1, then, halimbawa, para ma-imagine nyo, kunwari, say, R is 0.1. Then, R to the n, if n is infinity, will be 0.1 to the infinity. So, 0.1 to the infinity is 0.1 times 0.1 times 0.1 times so on and so forth. 0.1 times 0.1 is 0.01 times 0.1.001 times 0.1.00001. As you multiply it by 0.1, it gets smaller and smaller. So, if you will multiply it by 0.1, a number less than 1, infinite number of times, this will approach the value of very, very small. It will approach the value of 0. So, if R is less than 1, the absolute value is less than 1, when you raise it to infinity, this will become 0. So, the formula becomes S of infinite geometric progression is 1 minus 0 times A1 over 1 minus R. Tanda ko nung sinabi ni Saddam Hussein, nung yung Amerika inatake yung Iraq. Nag-withdraw yung Iraq from Kuwait, pero ang sabi ni Saddam ito, this war isn't over yet. This could last forever. Yung forever, diba, infinite yan? Kaya ang tatandaan nyo, pagka ang pagsasama-samahin ay infinite, tandaan nyo yung sinabi ni Saddam. It is the war that is forever or infinite. America versus Iraq. Hindi ako nananalangin na infinite yung war, ha? Ang sabi ko lang, yun yung sabi ni Saddam. Okay? So, pag infinite geometric progression, the war that is forever or infinite, America over Iraq. So, Iran over Iraq, involve yung America, then America over Iraq. You follow? In this question, A2 is 6, A5 is 162, we're asked here to find A19. In our formula for geometric progression, AN is A1 R to the N minus 1. But we do not have A1, so we just apply here A2. AN equals A2 R to the N minus 2. So if N here is A5 and this is 5, so I have here A5 is 162 equals A2 6 R unknown to the 5 minus 2 3. So in this equation, solving RR is going to be equal to 3. Okay? Now, so knowing RR, we are ready to solve our A19. Our A19 equals A2 R to the 19 minus 2. So, our A19 therefore is equal to A2 6 times 3 to the 19 minus 2, 17. So you calculate this and you will get here 7748 40978. So this will be your 19th term. Maliwanag? Another solution to this is using the calculator function mode stat. So just press mode stat, then your calculator will ask you to choose an equation. For arithmetic progression, the equation is a plus bx. For geometric progression, the equation is a b to the x. So choose this equation in your mode stat. Then your calculator will display to you the matrix x and y. X represent the subscript and y will be a subscript. Ito yung term, ito yung subscript. So for A2, x is 2, y is 6. So when x is 2 equals, y is 6 equals. Now, when x is 5, y is 162. 5 equals 162 equals. Once you input this ordered pair, you press AC in your calculator. So mag-click clear yung screen. Then, we want here the y for an x of 19. So press in your calculator 19, don't press the equals. Then press shift 1 regression. This is the regression activator. So what we are solving here is x. So choose the key for x, then press, and your calculator will display to you the answer, which is 77,484,097.8. So Now, one problem encountered commonly in the board exam are problems involving equations. Now, let us have this one involving logarithms. We're asked to find the value of x in this equation. What is your solution to solve x? Now, we can solve this theoretically, pero ang board exam natin may choices. So, all you need to do is substitute the choices to x. So, trying 0.98 here, input this in your calculator, try x is 0.98, you'll get here math error. Ang kailangan mong makuha is 1. So, it means 0.98 is invalid. Then you try substituting 1.08 for x, you'll get for this quantity, you'll get 1.0005. So close to 1, so this is most likely. But you finish the trial, 1.38 for x, you'll get here negative 0.5194. Mali pa rin. So, and then, you try 2.53 for x here. Again, you'll get here a math error message. So, ibig sabihin, isa lang ang nag-satisfy, letter B. So, x is 1.08. So, the solution to equation is nothing but just substitution of the choices. Okay? Kahit ano pang equation, exponential, trigonometric, logarithmic, combination ng kahit anong equations, pwedeng masolve dahil may choices. All you need to do is substitute. Kuha? Okay. So as I told you, whenever you're given problems of equations finding the value of x in an equation, the simple solution is substitution. Kahit anong hirap ng equation, dahil may choices, i-substitute mo lang whichever of the choices meet the requirement of the equation, then that is the answer. However, there is a limitation to the substitution solution. That is, when the equation involves infinite number of terms. Your calculator is limited. Lalo ngayon, linimit pa ng PRC yung mga pwedeng calculator, no? So, yung ating calculator limited lang sa 150 characters or less. Ang pinag-uusapan natin, infinite terms. Meaning, hindi kayang i-input, ipasok sa calculator. So, paano natin gagawin to? Ganito. Ang technique na gagamitin natin ay yung Padillas beach analogy. What is the beach analogy? Ang principle is something that is infinite in number. Even you add one bit or one piece, or you subtract or you take away one bit from it, it remains the same because it's infinite. So to make it clearer, let me use the analogy of a beach. A beach involves or contains infinite grains of sand. For example, you own a beach lot, or for example, you visit Boracay, no? Wag ngayon, no? Hindi ka papayagan. So, halimbawa, pagdating mo doon, kumuha ka ng isang grain of sand. Now, the question is there anything that changed in the beach? None. The beach remains the same, even if I take one grain of sand, because it contains infinite grains of sand. If it is worth 3 million before I arrive, after I took 1 grain of sand, it's still worth 3 million. Or the other way around, pagdating ko, I add 1 grain of sand from another beach lot and I put it there. Will that 1 grain change the value, the looks, the appearance, the everything of the beach? No, it remains the same. It remains 3 million pesos, right? Also, every beach has a sea, right? Because if there's no sea adjacent to it, then it's not a beach. It's a desert, right? Now, sino sa inyo yung mabait na bata na pagka maliligo sa dagat, pag naiihi, aalis sa dagat, sa tubig, pupunta sa CR, dun iihi. Wala, di ba? Kung mabait kang gano'n, ang gagawin mo, di ba, iihi ka sa tubig. Sa swimming pool nga, umiihi ka eh. Di ba? Sa dagat pa kaya hindi. So, pag ihi mo sa tubig, bakit ka umiihi doon sa dagat? Alam mo, walang effect yung ihi mo. Right? In fact, no one will know pag ihi mo. Kahit yung katabi mo, bago ka umihi, pag ihi mo, parehas lang yung tubig. Halimbawa, umihi ka. Tapos yung katabi mo, sumisid. Di ba? Pag ahon niya, sasabihin niya, sarap ng tubig. So, dahil hindi niya mapupuna. Yung tubig bago ka umihi, maalat-alat, mainit-init. Pag ihi mo, nakainom siya, ganun pa rin ang lasa ng tubig. Mainit-init, maalat-alat. Yung infinite, yung maraming-marami, kahit dagdagan mo ng isa, it remains the same. That is the Padillas Beach Principle or Beach Analogy. Yung infinite, yung maraming-marami, kahit dagdagan mo ng isa, it remains the same. That is the Padillas Beach Principle or Beach Analogy. Let me show you how to use that. In this equation, it's x raised to x raised to x raised to infinite number of x's raised to 3 is equal to 3. These are the choices. There's no way you can substitute the choices because they are infinite in number. So how are you going to solve this? Ganito. You identify first which item and process is infinite. Yung nauulit, walang katapusan. Ito. X raised to. There are infinite x's here. So what I'm going to do is this. Each x represents a grain of sand. You gather together all the grains of sand, isama na natin yung 3. This is your beach. It contains infinite x's raised to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 grain of sand or take away 1 grain. Mas madaling magdagdag, no? For illustration's sake, magdagdag tayo. So, let me copy first that equation, x raised to x raised to x raised to infinite x's raised to 3 is equal to 3. Now, let me add 1x of the already infinite x's without destroying the pattern. Ano yung pattern? Hindi ka pwedeng basta mag-add ng kahit anong x. Halimbawa, i-multiply mo ng x, sira ang pattern. Without destroying the pattern, let me add 1x. How can I do that? I will make all of this as exponent of x. So this would be x raised to this. So it remains x raised to x raised to x raised to infinite x's raised to 3. The original was x raised to x raised to infinite x's raised to 3. Ito yung original na beach. Ito ngayon yung beach plus 1 grain of sand. Right? What can you say about the two beaches? The beach and the beach plus 1 grain of sand. They're the same. Agree? So this and this are the same. Walang nabago. But balikan natin yung ginawa ko dito. The original equation is this. That's equal to 3. But by the rule of manipulation of equations, whatever you do on the left side so that the equation remains equal, whatever you do here, you must also do on the right side. I made this as an exponent of x. I must also make this as an exponent of x. You follow? Maliwanag. Okay. Now, sabi natin this beach and this beach are the same. This is equal to 3, right? Kung ito 3, this is equal to 3? Yes, because this and this are the same. So if this is 3, this is practically 3 also. So we now have 3 is equal to x cubed. So by applying Padilla's Beach analogy, the equation with infinite number of terms will be reduced to 1 with finite terms. In this form, pwede mo nang i-substitute up. Or simply take the cube root of both sides, cube root of 3 is equal to cube root of x cubed, that is x. So you take the cube root of 3 and you will get here 1.4422. So therefore, it is letter A. You follow? Maliwanag. Okay. So that you will understand this better, let me illustrate the Padilla's Beach analogy by using this problem. We are asked here to find the value of x. Even you calculate this, you cannot input this in your calculator because this is infinite in number. So the technique here is apply the Padilla's Beach analogy. You first identify what is the term here and process that is infinite in number. Madali lang ma-identify. The sequence is 1 plus 1 over. Diba? 1 plus 1 over, 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 and so on. So, the grain of sand is 1 plus 1 over. Right? Tama. Okay. Now, ang gagawin natin dito, magdagdag lang tayo ng 1 grain of sand. 1 plus 1 over. Let me first copy the equation. X equals 1 plus 1 over, 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 1 plus so on and so forth. Correct? So, yung grains of sand, pag sama-samahin mo, this entire thing is your beach. So, your x is equal to the beach. And this is identical to that because I just copied this to this. Right? Ang gagawin natin, we will add 1 grain of sand. And what is our grain of sand? 1 plus 1 over. So let me add here, let me move this a little bit farther. Let me add here 1 plus 1 over. 1 plus 1 over. Right? So, whatever I do on the right, let me also do on the left. 1 plus 1 over. They remain equal, right? Tama. Now, this is the beach. This is the beach plus 1 grain of sand. Correct? Tama. So, what can you say about the beach, Boracay, and Boracay plus 1 grain of sand? They're the same, right? This and this are the same. If this is equal to x, this is equal to what? If this is equal to x, this is equal to what? Also x. So, therefore, I say now that 1 plus 1 over x is also equal to x. After applying Padilla-Sharp principle, this equation is reduced to one containing finite terms. So all you have to do is substitute the choices. You'll be able to get your x. So input this in your equation, substitute this. Are they equal? No. Substitute this for x. Are they equal? No. Substitute this for x. Are they equal? Yes. Substitute this for x. Are they equal? No. So therefore, the answer is x is 1.618. Another common application encountered in the board exam is that of the remainders theorem. It says that when you divide a function of x, it refers to algebraic function of x, by a first degree expression x minus r, where r is a real number, then your remainder equals f of r. What do you mean by f of r? F of r is the value of f of x if all x's is replaced by r. Let me illustrate what it means. If we divide this expression, this algebraic expression of x, by x plus 5, this is our x minus r. So your minus r is 5, or r is minus 5, di ba? Minus r equals 5, so r is minus 5. And this is your f of x. Ang sinasabi ng remainders theorem, the remainder when you divide this by this, your remainder equals f of r. Meaning, it is equal to f of x with all x's replaced by r. But what is your r in x plus 5? Minus 5. So this is f of minus 5. Meaning, it would be, replace this x by minus 5. It's minus 5 cubed, minus 7 times minus 5, minus 6. So you compute this would be minus 96. Now, let me prove that this is minus 96, the remainder. Let us manually divide the function. I have here x cubed, there is the x squared, minus 7x minus 6, divide by x plus 5. In the division of polynomials, this will only be the divisor. Na? Pero, sa multiplier kasama yung 5. X cubed over x, that is x squared, right? X cubed over x. That would be x squared. Then you multiply. X squared times x, that is x cubed. X squared times 5, that is 5x squared. Then we subtract. X cubed minus x cubed cancelled. 0 minus 5x squared minus 5x squared. Bring this down. Minus 7x minus 6. Minus 5x squared over x, that would be minus 5x, di ba? Minus 5x squared over x. Tanggal lang naman yung isang x, na? So, minus 5x. Minus 5x times x minus 5x squared. Minus 5x times 5 minus 25x. Then we subtract again. This minus this, they will cancel. Minus 7x minus minus 25x plus 18x. Kasi minus minus plus 25 minus 7 plus 18x. Bring this down. Minus 6. 18x over x, that's 18. So you multiply again, 18 times x, 18x, 18 times 5, that is 90. So we subtract again. 18 minus 18x, cancel. Minus 6 minus 90 minus 96. We no longer can divide minus 96 by x because there is no more x here. So this is already the remainder. The remainder is equal to function of r. R is the value of x. You just equate this to 0. X plus 5 is 0. X plus 5 is 0. What is x? Minus 5. So that is the value of your r. You follow? What about this example? Given that function of x is x to the fourth minus ax cubed minus 2x squared minus 3x plus b, when you divide it by x minus 1, the remainder is 2. When you divide it by x plus 2, the remainder is minus 1. We're asked here to find the value of a and b. Now, since our divisor here is first degree, remainder's theorem is applicable. So sabi natin that the remainder is equal to f of r. In condition 1, the remainder is 2. Function of r, your r here is x minus 1 is 0, x is 1. So that is your small r. We just replace all x's by 1. That would be your function of x. So we have 1 to the fourth minus a 1 to the third minus 2 times 1 squared minus 3 times 1 plus b. So let me move all variables to the left, minus a to the left. That would be a. Then b to the left, that is minus b, is equal to, this is 1, right? 1 minus 2, that would be minus 1, minus 3, minus 4, minus 2, that would be minus 6. Let me call this equation 1. Now, considering condition 2, the remainder is minus 1. Now, since our divisor is first degree, remainder's theorem, again, is applicable. The remainder is f of small r. Our remainder is minus 1. Our small r is, equate this to 0, x plus 2 is 0. What is x? Minus 2. So that would be the value of your small r. So this is f of minus 2. F of minus 2 is f of x with all x's replaced by minus 2. So you simplify that, that would be minus 2 to the fourth minus a times x cubed minus 2 cubed minus 2 x squared, that is minus 2 squared, minus 3 times x, that's minus 2, plus b. Transpose all variables on the left side. Minus 2 cubed, that is minus 8. Times minus plus. So move to the left, that would be plus 8a to the left minus 8a. Then move this to the left, this is minus b is equal to minus 2 to the fourth, positive 16, minus 2 squared, 4, minus 2. Tama? 4 times negative 2, negative 8, plus 16, 8. Plus 6, na? 14. Move this to the right, plus 1. So this is plus 15. This is equation 2. You have here two equations, two unknowns. So you calculate these two equations, two unknowns, you'll be able to get A, which is equal to negative 7 over 3, and B, which is equal to 11 over 3. These are the values of your A and B. So, basta yung ating i-divide is a algebraic function of x, and your divisor is first degree, your remainder's theorem applies. So, remainder is f of small r. Yung r, dun sa f of r, makukuha mo yun dun sa divisor. Your divisor is in the form of x minus r. Pagka in-equate mo to sa 0, yung x na lalabas dyan is r. So, bali ang technique is solve mo lang tong equation na to. When you equate that to 0, yung result ng x, yun yung r. Or yung r is just the opposite sign of this. Ito, r is 1. Ito, r is minus 2. What about in this problem? This divided by this, find the remainder. Since the numerator is an algebraic function of x, and the divisor is first degree, and this is a real number, remainder's theorem is applicable. The remainder's theorem says r equals f of small r. So, our remainder is required. So, our r is x when this is equated to 0. X minus 3, 0, what is x? 3. So, therefore, this is f of 3. F of 3 is f of x, this one, if all x's is replaced by 3. So, you have 3 cubed minus 7 times 3 minus 6. You calculate this is 27 minus 21, 6 minus 6, 0. The remainder is 0. Meaning, when you divide this by x minus 3, the answer is exact. Now, this leads us to another theory of equation known as the factor theorem. If the remainder is 0, meaning x minus 3 is a factor of this. Ulitin ko, therefore, x minus 3 is a factor of x cubed minus 7x minus 6. You divide this by this, the answer is exact because there is no remainder. These two problems are simple problems pero nakakainis or pwede kang bumagsak kung magkamali ka sa isang problem. Now, both of them appeared in the electrical engineering board exam but they are worth discussing. Dahil baka maulit sa board exam nyo, no? So, dito, 1992 board exam, we're asked to find what is x in the equation x equals square root of 49. And in the 1992 board exam, we are given find x in the equation x squared is 49. The choices are the same. A plus 7, B minus 7, C plus and minus 7, and D plus minus 7i. Ang tanong, are the two equations the same? They are not. The key to solving these equations is the first theory of equations. The number of roots of an equation is equal to the degree of the equation. This is first degree equation. There is only one root. Isa lang ang x nito. So that is plus 7. This one is a second degree equation. It has two roots. So when you take the square root of both sides, x is equal to plus and minus the square root of 49. So kaya ito ay x is plus 7 and x is minus 7.